With rounds 1 and 2 at Silverstone in the bag for Tête Rouge, we headed to Pembrey Circuit in South Wales for rounds 3, 4 and 5 of the classic 2CV Championship. A very different circuit, a very different challenge, but will it yield a very different result? Over the course of the weekend, tempers were well and truly tested. The on-track battles intensified and Lady Luck dealt her own hand. The championship fight was just getting started and Tête Rouge looked like the team to beat. But after qualifying for race 1 was done and dusted, it was Chris Tovey once again on pole. With Nick Crispin in second and the two Tête Rouge cars on the back foot in third and fourth. Heading into the weekend at Pembrey, it was Andrew Bull leading the championship with 170 points, with his teammate trailing by just 2 points at 168. Nick Crispin followed them up in third with 160 points, and Ethan Sparrow, after his first podium in race 2 at Silverstone, sits in fourth with 155 points. And with Jones White in fifth with 153 points, the top 5 fight was all to play for. Anyone could come out of Pembrey on top of the table. Over the weekend, we spoke to Chris Yates and Colin Etchells to see what their aims were for the 2025 season, how they felt last season went, and what's been going well, and maybe not so well, after the opening rounds at Silverstone.
Hi, Colin Etchells, car number 67, Etch Racing.
So, you had a bit difficult year last year.
I've had a difficult year, Everton.
What are you looking? What did you come into this season looking for?
To be honest, to be more consistent and to be in the midfield, really. Car's heavy. We've stripped a lot of weight out of the car. Still got some work to do with that. Need to look at the engines. The engines need to be put on a rolling roll to see whether we can get some more horsepower out of it, and then I need more time in the car, really.
Silverstone? Thoughts on Silverstone?
First time driven at Silverstone, first time on that circuit. Good circuit, thought we were going to be more competitive having done what we've done, changed the shocks, changed the front arms, and weren't, so scratching my head really a little bit.
Hello, my name's Chris Yates. I'm racing for Blueberry Muffin Motorsport, and my car number is number 40.
Tell me about last year. How did last season go for you?
Yeah, last year started pretty good. Had some good results, got into the top 10. Yeah, it was doing all right, and we managed to get a 24-hour race on the same engine, which is something that's been eluding us for a few years. And it did the full race on the same engine. It was good. Had a good result. And then the last race of the season, it just seemed to, I don't know, couldn't really get the car to go very fast. It fell off the pace, and so it ended on a bit of a not so great note. But yeah, that carried on into this season a bit as well. But yeah.
So between in the winter break, what was your heading into this season? What was your sort of mindset or plan for the season?
Yeah, I thought I could carry on much as I did last year, try and get into the top 10 as much as possible. But that hasn't really worked out.
Racing.
Chris Yates and Colin Etchells both looking for more performance this year after a difficult 2024 campaign. And interestingly, both looking to squeeze more out of not just the car, but themselves too. With 3 bites at the cherry, can they find some performance in the sunny south of Wales? With plenty of anticipation from the mid-pack, race 1, however, was a showcase from the leaders. So without further ado, it's race 1 at Pembrey.
Grid set by qualifying this morning. It's the SL racing car of Chris Tovey, the former champion, on pole, switching car this season. only the second time we've seen him in the SL racing car, prepared by Lawrence Broadhurst, who will race it in race 2. It's the second time Chris has put it on pole as well. Nick Crispin in the P2W Motorsport car alongside him. Side Shirley Hennessy, we just heard from her, the TS racing car. Row 7 is Chris Yates for Muffin Motorsport, Blueberry Muffins as they used to be.
The anticipation for Pembrey Race 1 was incredible. We know just how good the races at Pembrey, the races that Pembrey produces are. I think last time we were here in the sprint races, 1st to 10th was split by a second across the line at the end of the race. So with the perfect sort of spectating conditions, the heat, you could see the shimmer above the tarmac, the visuals were absolutely incredible. And I think just knowing that anyone in the top sort of 10 of this grid could be winning this race, and I knew just how good a race this was going to be, and I think the drivers knew as well. So yeah, Pembrey, always a fantastic race.
Some of the most entertaining racing that you will see in British circuit racing. The white and blue car of Chris Tovey on pole, the SL racing car based in Cannock in Staffordshire, the SL racing team. But Chris is from down in Bristol. Nick Crispin will be a favourite here. This will be a 15-minute sprint. And expect to see everybody stacked up and slipstreaming each other. We had hoped to see this weekend return of 2CV legend Roy Eastwood, who's been racing since the championship started back in 1989, but sadly Roy couldn't be here. The Sparrow name is on the grid. That's the dark grey car, 46 Ethan Sparrow. 42 Martin Sunderland. Is he heading for the pit lane? Yes, I thought he would be. Had quite a bit of smoke there, the 42 car in trouble. So here they are, 19 examples on the grid of the car that put France on 4 wheels, designed just before the Second World War, and undoubtedly one of the most famous shapes in world motoring, never mind motor racing.
Chris Tovey has so far only entered 2 races. He has put it on pole in both. That's a 100% pole position stat. In race 1 at Silverstone, he narrowly missed out to Brian Heery. Here at Pembrey, he will be looking to take the win. Nick Crispin has 2 third-place finishes so far and will no doubt be frustrated, so starting P2 alongside a dear friend of his. I certainly thought they would be keen to work together to stay at the front. Tech Rouge took the second row together and are this time the hunter rather than the hunted, with Andrew Bull looking to solidify his championship lead. Sebastian Jones takes his now usual spot of P5 for race 1, and for a team titled Podium Motorworks are distinctly podiumless so far this season. But I'll keep a keen eye on that white and gold car. Sam Archer sat next to him, and really keeping himself in the top 10 will be a fantastic continuation of his rookie year so far.
Chris Tovey on pole, Nick Crispin alongside, we're underway, and here we go down to... Tovey and Crispin, who are 2 of the quickest men in 2CVs over the last few years. Nick Crispin trying to go round the outside, 3 wide into Hatchett's hairpin. Seb Jones White's made a good start as well, the white car with the gold stripes, and somebody's off. A couple of cars go wide onto the grass. That's Matthew Hollis, the blue and orange car. One of the Team Lion cars, that was Sam Archer on the grass, and the red car may have been Julie Walford that went off there as well, but it's Nick Crispin who's got the lead in the 89 ahead of Chris Tovey in the SL racing car. 76 Andrew Bull in the Habitable Leisure sponsored car, run by the Tech Rouge racing team. Ethan Sparrow's made a great start as well up there with Seb Jones White. Brian Heery, who was at the sharp end at Silverstone, is back in the pack. And is that Alec Graham up to 8th already from the back? It is, my goodness, what a start. Round the outside goes Chris Tovey into the lead in the number 48 car. Battle is joined already. Now, they're going to be like this for the entire race, I can guarantee it. There's no aerodynamics there at all. You've got to slipstream each other. experienced 2CV racer as well in the Armageddon team car. Watch for him coming through, the red and blue car. There's yellow flags out going into Hatchett's hairpin, so possibly somebody still stranded there after the earlier shenanigans. Yes, it's Matthew Hollis, unfortunately, out of the race. Hopefully they can repair that car. His brother Richard's going to be racing it in.
It was a fairly sensible opening lap at the front. At the back, however, it was pretty hectic. There was also one big loser in all of this. Matthew Hollis, who despite a relatively flaccid qualifying position, had a cracking start and was making his way through the pack towards turn 1. Unfortunately, there was a coming together between the trio of rookie Sam Archer, the third Tête Rouge car piloted by Simon Turner, and the 55 Walford car. Hollis was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and unfortunately, he made contact. I think it's safe to say he was not best pleased about the situation. With Matty Hollis unfortunately out at the first corner, there was one driver who showed us exactly how to recover from the back of the grid. And that driver was Alec Graham, former and multiple champion. He entered Pembrey as a one-off, and even though not in for the title, made an instant impression, going from dead last on the grid up to P8 and hunting the leaders after just one lap. And after 2, he was sitting 5th and in a serious mood to have his name on the top of the podium.
As up the inside, Alec Graham muscles his way past Even Sparrow. Now what's going to happen into the hairpin this time around? Fastest lap of the race has been done by Nick Crispin, 1:24.037.
Whilst Alec Graham played havoc on his way to the front, a fierce battle waged on between leader Chris Tovey, the 2 Tête Rouge cars, and Nick Crispin. But sitting politely in line behind them was the chasing trio of Alec Graham, Ethan Sparrow and Sebastian Jones-White. That 4-way fight at the front was about to become a 7-car battle, and the Pembrey effect was about to give us a race to remember.
And somebody out. Oh, Rob Dawson, number 20, has stopped.
5 minutes into the race, the yellow flags were out once more. This time for Robert Dawson in the number 20 Podium Motorworks car, who suffered a steering rack failure and had a bit of a scare when he turned right onto the back straight and the car decided it wasn't playing fair and continued straight. The yellow flags coming out, however, hindered another driver, and this time it was completely their own doing. When there's an incident on track, like a collision, a breakdown or debris, you will almost always see a yellow flag going on. When an incident occurs and the yellow flag comes out, this means that from the point of the first yellow flag until a green flag is displayed, there is strictly no overtaking, and drivers must slow down to a controllable speed in case they have to avoid an incident. If the incident is particularly severe or marshals are temporarily on track, you will see a double waved yellow. This means that the drivers, again, cannot overtake and must slow down or be prepared to stop. Now, earlier on in the race, on lap 2, there was double waved yellows before, through and after turn 1, as the Hollis car was being moved to a safe place after its collision. You may have seen earlier that Jones-White was passed on the inside through this yellow flag section by Brian Heary. In Seb's annoyance, he subsequently came off the throttle, had a little bit of a moan, and got back on the throttle, forgetting he was still in third for a second gear corner, and once past the green flags was swallowed up and dropped down to 7th. Because of this, it was assumed that Seb had an issue and Brian was let through, and his pass was unnoticed. Fast forward to Robert Dawson's incident, and Brian now makes the same mistake a second time, and this time on his own teammate. This was seen and noted by the race director to be investigated after the race. Brian was in trouble, and if he's found to have passed under yellows, a hefty penalty could be coming his way. Nevertheless, the race goes on, With Tovey still leading from pole, it was all action behind him. Bully, Heary and Crispin all fighting for the same bit of track, whilst Graham, Sparrow and Jones White worked together to close in from behind. The first real attack for the lead came from Brian Heary. Brian saw a gap and went for a move down the inside of the fast final corner on Tovey. Tovey, seeing this, left room on the inside, but with a touch of understeer, Brian found contact with the rear bumper of the SL racing car, putting Tovey into a slide, which he was lucky to control.
The end of that last lap, but we're keeping an eye on this lead battle. They can't go 4 wide into Hatchett's hairpin, sure. Watch Alec Graham to the inside. He's going to try it. He's going to try it. Here he comes. Straight down the inside of Bull and Crispin. Brian Heary's been wise and backed out of it. Is Alec Graham going to take the lead? Yes, he's done it. That's the move of the season so far. Outstanding from Alec Graham. He started on the back row of the grid and he's got the lead.
A fantastic move from Alec Graham took the lead, only to make a mistake later that same lap coming onto the back straight, giving the lead to Nick Crispin.
3 wide for third. Graham's caught on the outside, so he's going to be back to about 6th position. He slots back in now, or does he? Andrew Bull on the outside. Crispin will hold the lead in the hairpin. Ethan Sparrow's up to third. Where's he come from? Nick Crispin leans Andrew Bull wide, so Ethan Sparrow says, OK, I'll go 3 wide then. Can I go round the outside? As his uncle's talent rubbed off on him here. Andrew Bull moves across the take line. Crispin will go for the inside. This is like a NASCAR race. Absolutely superb. Bull now has the lead. Now Chris Tovey's got to run on the inside. Watch the blue and white car on the left. He's almost being bump drafted by Max Wire in the Team Lion car. Brian Heary's caught in the middle. Graham's on the outside. This is amazing. Andrew Bull continues to lead, looking for win number 2 this season. Down towards Hatchett's hairpin. Crispin on the inside. I think he's going to retake the lead. He certainly is. Now Seb Jones White coming through on the inside, the number 13. He'll try to go second. Tovey's back up to 5th meanwhile. Up towards Senna once again. Nick Crispin trying to pull away. A little bit of damage to the front of Seb Jones White's car. There's a bit of bodywork flapping. Sparrow in third. Here comes Tovey back up the inside. Andrew Bull, he's down to 5th. Brian Heary lurking in 6th. He gets a knock from Alec Graham. Crispin holds him off, looking for his first win of the season. I think as this is the longest anyone's held the lead of this race so far. Here comes Chris Tovey on the inside in the 48s. He's going to take third. He might go for second on the inside of Seb Jones White as Reader goes a little bit wide, so does Bull. Ethan Sparrow tucks in on the inside.
After working together with Ethan Sparrow, Jones White now found himself in second, and a defensive move on Andrew Bull opened the door for Sparrow. Unfortunately, Ethan misjudged his move and careered into the side of Andrew Bull. Sparrow came off worse and was gobbled up by the chasing pack, whilst Bully just about managed to keep ahead of Chris Tovey and Alec Graham for third, keeping him in touch with the lead duo of Crispin and Jones White.
That's going to allow Tovey around the outside. Sparrow's lost out there because Alec Graham's got through as well. And that's allowed the first two to escape just a little. Not for long though, I'm sure. Crispin from Jones White. Tovey, Bull, Graham, Sparrow, Heary. Behind him is Max Wire, the 97. Andrew Bull having a look at the inside on the 48s. Graham will try and go through as well. Can Nick Crispin hang on for his first win of the season, or is it all going to be on this final lap? It's usually out the back of the circuit. We see some place swapping. Andrew Bull's not finished yet.
Andrew Bull passed the 13 car at turn 1 on the final lap and was side by side with Nick Crispin coming out of turn 3 at Spitfires. Eager to take a second win of the season, he was pushing hard. But Nick Crispin wasn't going to give up that easily, and Sebastian Jones White wasn't ready to concede either. From Andrew Bull's on board, it looked like he may have been squeezed across by Nick Crispin. From Jones White's on board, it looked clearly like Crispin moved across and hit Andrew. From Nick Crispin's on board, he didn't do anything and was simply hit by Bully. Whatever your opinion is, it was a high-stakes bid for the win. And whatever you think, it was definitely entertainment.
Crispin side by side with Bull, who's got a good run through there, through DeBenny there, into the crossing, up the inside at the left-hander. Can he take the lead away? He's almost got the overlap, but I think Nick Crispin's going to go back up the inside at Senna. Seb Jones-White could be in position for a first win here. Bull goes out wide, keeps his foot in though. They're still side by side play. This is sensational stuff. We could be in for a photo finish here. Jones-White trying to get the turn back. This car's going flying off wide. That's Graham and Wire. That's got them to the back of this group. Nick Crispin still has the lead. They're coming up towards the checkered flag this time. Andrew Bull has a look on the inside. Seb Jones-White's having none of it. Moves across to the inside. He's going to try and slipstream Nick Crispin for the win here. Here they come. Checkered flag almost in sight. Can Seb Jones-White get up the inside of Nick Crispin? They come up towards the line. Crispin is going to win it. Nick Crispin takes his first win of the season here at Pembrey by 0.179 of a second. Seb Jones-White second, then Bull, Sparrow, Tovey, Heary, Ryman, Graham and Wire as quickly as that.
Across the line then, it was Crispin victorious with his first win of the season. Jones-White takes his first podium through an uncharacteristically smart drive, with Andrew Bull taking third. Sparrow and Tovey round out the top five, with Heary provisionally sixth pending an investigation for passing under yellows, and Martin Ryman, the unsung hero of the chasing pack, finishing seventh on the road. Alec Graham and Max Wire in the 97 team Lion car take 8th and 9th after both running off track on the final lap. Sam Archer took a lonely 10th, some 20 seconds behind, as there simply was no midfield fight this time out. Chris Yates found himself alone in 11th, whilst Matthew Arrowsmith-Brown, who showed strong pace at Silverstone, finished 12th after a lengthy fight with Shirley Hennessy, with Colin Atchells finishing 14th and last of the finishers. Pembrey was cruel to many, with 5 non-finishers and Martin Sunderland unable to take the start. As is becoming tradition, the drama didn't stop at the checkered flag. Andrew Bull was not happy with Nick Crispin's defensive tactics on the final lap and was vocal in his disappointment, calling Crispin out for running him off the track.
A quick word very shortly, shall we, with Nick. He's just going to get out. There is Andrew Bull isn't particularly happy. I'm not too sure exactly what's happened here. Let's just grab Sebastian for a second whilst we're here. Sebastian, how was that?
That was intense. That was brilliant fun.
It sounds intense behind us. What happened? Did you see?
A lot happened. We were leading quite nicely, 1-2 into the last corner, last lap, first corner. And then suddenly there's 5 other cars around us, and I think there was a little bit of a bump between these two, and there was a bit of contact all around. But I mean,
0.3 seconds over the line. It's close. These two.
It was. He almost pipped me across the line on a slipstream. My heart was going because I tried to get down the inside into the last corner on the last lap. I didn't have the overspeed. But fantastic race. So much fun.
See what it means to you, mate. Well done. Good stuff. We've got Andrew. Andrew, not happy. What happened?
Oh, it's just a little bit of contact.
Remember, we are live.
Yeah, a little bit of contact out there. Sort of just made life unnecessarily difficult, and just creates work to do on the car. So yeah, I was in a really good, strong position on the last lap. coming around the inside of De Benny and just got squeezed onto the grass into the right-hander before they were hairpin. So it just dropped me back into third. So
Is the car okay? You'll be all right?
well, it'll be fine. We'll be out next time out. You know, we'll have the boys at Tower and Tech Rouge are going to do the job for us, so we'll be fine.
So, mate, keep smiling.
Cheers,
keep
yeah,
smiling.
thanks.
It's good to see you, mate. Right.
As with all incidents, emotions run high, and we can all be forgiven for seeing red from time to time. Thankfully, due to the ever-friendly nature of the 2CVive paddock, it wasn't long before the two hugging it out with no hard feelings. To add to the drama, however, Jones White, Andrew Bull, Ethan Sparrow and Brian Heary were all called to the steward's office shortly after the race. Bully and Jones White for avoidable contact, and Ethan Sparrow for passing under yellow flags, to which no further action was taken. Brian Heary, however, was caught red-handed for passing under yellows, and was subsequently disqualified from the race results, and almost certainly taking him out of the championship fight. The glory this time then goes to Nick Crispin, who showed ruthless speed, and once he reached the front, was this time at least the immovable object. Nick and the P2W team can be proud of such a fantastic victory, and will no doubt be happy to celebrate being at the top step and subsequently leading the championship after 3 consecutive podiums. Going into round 4, it's Nick leading, with Andrew Bull now second in the championship and Jones White third, with Ethan Sparrow following closely in 4th.
They call me sassy when I'm strolling down the street. They call me classy when I'm serving just the best. I can be deadly when I find somebody lovely. And now I'm ready like a kitty in a dress. Don't call me mean, I just want someone to love me. Someone to lick my wounds and kiss my aching body. My desperation knows no termination, baby. Now would you love me if I was somebody else? Wish I had a tail. Wish I had a tail. 'Cause if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. If I had a tail. If I had a tail. Yeah, if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. I would swing it to the beat, I'd be a mover. And everyone be jealous of my touch. I just wanna be the one that makes you drool. No, I'd be a super duper cool, not a smoother little puss. Wish I had a tail. Wish I had a tail. 'Cause if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. If I had a tail. If I had a tail. Yeah, if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. Now don't call me mean, I just want someone to love me, someone to lick my wounds and kiss my aching body. My desperation knows no termination, baby. Now would you love me if I was somebody else? Wish I had a tail. Wish I had a tail. 'Cause if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. If I had a tail. If I had a tail. Yeah, if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. Wish I had a tail. Wish I had a tail. 'Cause if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you. If I had a tail. If I had a tail. Yeah, if I did then I would swing it, be swinging it in front of you.